we lost another bank the other day.
Nice.
So, and this kind of ties in well with communities. First Republic.
Oh, no.
First Republic Bank collapsed. San Francisco Bank.
What is it with all the West Coast banks collapsing? Do you think it has something to do where they invested into a bunch of green energy products and companies, and they invested their money based off of emotional feeling and not what's actually making money?
Right. So, and you're seeing a lot of negative news about the Fed raising rates after this, and that's creating a lot of fear mongering. Right. A lot of people saying, oh, look at what it's doing. Look at how it's going to have a drastic impact right away.
Well, the Fed did cause these bank collapses.
They did because they did.
They hiked rates way too fast.
Right. Oh, 100. Exactly. It's way too fast. But you look at it too, where were all these, and you mentioned earlier, where were all of these located? This is another bank that is located in Silicon Valley area. And you have to look at it, and looking at the reason for this is a little different too. It was defaults on jumbo mortgages was the biggest reason for this bank closing.
Really?
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
Well, let's look at it. HP moved out of there. Amazon had
Amazon.
Yeah, layoffs. Google is now selling their place, Google. Laying people off. Intel had a bunch of layoffs.
Boom, done. Okay.
I mean, there's
Tesla.
Tesla moved out of there.
Wait, hold on. So you're telling me businesses are leaving California?
And people can't find other people to buy their $4 million homes in that area.
Wait, hold on. From what I understood, and based on what I am told, California is so beautiful. California has the best weather. California is the most progressive state in the country. It's so great. Why would people want to leave California?
They are.
Do you think it has anything to do with basically a 50% tax rate if you live there?
Probably so.
Huh. Wait, hold on. You're telling me these big companies, the Joe Rogans of the world, these big-time comedians, these big-time actors, Mark Wahlberg, people who make a good bit of money, plus the businesses that make a good bit of money that provide high-paying jobs. Let me repeat this again. Provide very high-paying jobs to people, don't like paying 50% of their hard-earned money to the government.
Right.
And then you have places like San Francisco that defund the police, and then the founder of Cash App gets stabbed in front of his ritzy community and killed. Like, people don't like that. Like, people want to feel like they're safe and that they don't have to pay a bunch of money. And my question is if you're defunding police and all these other programs, like, where's the money going? I think we should follow the money trail, but I don't want to get murdered. So, but anyways, but I keep going. So jumbo loans caused a collapse. You have a bunch of businesses that moved out of Silicon Valley, moved out of California. Maybe it has something to do with their policies. Maybe it has something to do with their tax rates. Maybe
Correct.
it has something to do with the rise in crime. That could all have an effect. A lot of them went to Texas too.
Right.
I thought Republican states were bad.
Right, but I mean that's kind of my point
I just thought
too.
they were. That's what everyone tells me.
Is that but you hear all this fear mongering about banks are collapsing. Like what are we as an economy? But you have to look at the communities that they're in because they are very localized, specialized banks. Like now, and the fact that there's been multiple of them,
diversification is key.
Absolutely. So you look at this area that's struggling. These people that had, jumbo loans in Silicon Valley probably were what, $4 or $5 million homes. Like that is that's hard to find that clientele when you have all these businesses moving out, when even the ones that are still there are, what is their business going to do down the road? Are they going to get laid off or their business going to move and they have to relocate? Why would you buy a $5 million home in that area?
Well, it's the same reason people always overspend is they think they're invincible and the times are never going to change and things are never going to get worse. So, the money's always going to keep coming. The money's going to always keep coming. And then the money stops coming, right? And then some of these foreclosures on the jumbo loans, maybe they were foreclosed on because they couldn't sell the property and they had already bought another property in the place that the business that they worked at moved to, right?
Right.
Because I have a hard time believing like mid-level managers who are the ones getting laid off were buying $5 million homes. But isn't California, everything's pretty much jumbo. A 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,800 square foot in Silicon Valley is probably $1 million.
Probably so, yeah.
So maybe it is a mid-level managers.
I mean, it very well could be, but I mean, you're probably right too on that piece of it. And I mean, maybe people are letting go intentionally because they can't sell it.
Right.
I mean, but I mean, at the end of the day, that all goes back on the bank. But I mean, my point still stands. Like, there are other things at factor, and the biggest thing that you can do, that we all need to do, is focus and look on our community. Like, seriously. And I mean, you brought up the tax benefits. Like, how are we going to, as a community, keep businesses there? Because at the end of the day, it's going to affect the everyday person. It's going to affect other businesses in that area. I mean, they all are interrelated.
I think you have to do it through new policy, and new policy is slow to come.
Right.
Because a lot of people are very, what's the word? Entrenched, that a lot of people don't want to change. A lot of people will just vote Democrat or Republican because that's what they've always been,
right,
instead of voting based off of who's the best for their local communities, right? And I think local community, it affects you more on your day-to-day life than federal.
Right, 100%, and it should.
But the other piece is a lot of the people who would vote the other way have moved because they couldn't stand those policies. So now you're going to be stuck in basically a one-party system, and that's never good. So the policy doesn't change. It just keeps going more and more and more and more off the deep end, whether it's the right or the left. It gets very extreme, and it's not going to change because the people who disagreed, they couldn't change it, so they left.
Right.
And it's a sad state.
People will vote with their feet.
Yes, that's what. Yes, that's a great saying.
Yep.
That, and I think policy is very slow to change. And another thing too is like the Fed again. How does this relate back to housing? Jumbo loans caused First Republic's collapse. One of the biggest issues was increasing the interest rates as quickly as they did, or the overnight bank rate, the Fed funds rate, whatever you want to call it. They increased it way too quickly.
Right.
First, they kept it artificially low for too long, and then they increased it too quickly. And now many would argue that they're going too far the other way, which is going to cause another issue. Then they're going to have to come back down, and inflation is going to go up, and it's going to be a perpetual cycle that could collapse us. So, yeah, interesting. Another bank collapse. No way.
Exactly.
There's more coming.
Right. Oh, there definitely are more coming.
There's more coming.
There are 100% are more coming. But yeah, and just the national media's coverage of it out there is just, I mean, there's so much fear mongering. I keep going back to it, but there is. Like, and it's ridiculous because, I mean, I don't think we're do you think we're on the verge of collapse?
As a country?
Yeah, as an economy.
I mean, if we collapse, the whole world collapses. So
right.
Define collapse. Like, do I think we're on the verge of collapse as a country or as an economy as a whole?
So people are claiming the stock market's going to drop by 60%.
It's already down 40.
They already said that we're going to lose 8 million jobs. I mean, and that's another misconception too.
I don't think so. No.
With the jobs report.
Well, I was watching Dave Ramsey the other day on YouTube, and one of the things he said is and he's old now. He's in his 60s, I think. Which to all the 60-year-olds, you guys are old. Every 10 years, there's something new that's going to be the end of the American economy, end of the American dollar, the end of the American dream, the end of this, the end of that, the end of this, the end of that. If it bleeds, it leads. Everyone's going to publish it. I actually am getting tired of talking about how bad the national media is. Of course it's bad. It's never telling you the truth, right?
Right.
If it bleeds, it leads. They just care about ratings. They don't care about the truth. So, no, I don't think we're on the bridge of an economic collapse. I think just no. That's my answer. No. The United States is not going to have an economic collapse. We might have dips. We have peaks and valleys. Every economy does. It's cyclical. You go through, in and out of it, in and out of it. I do think we're still the strongest economy because we're the United States. Our GDP is biggest in the world. But I don't think we're on the verge of collapse. Now, is there a chance we could possibly collapse? Yeah, I think you're not safe forever.
Right.
You have to start making good decisions. And if we keep going down the road that we're going on with Jerome Powell and Janet Yellen and printing money and increasing debt ceiling and not having a balanced budget and not having this and we're going to be in trouble. At some point, let's pay that debt off.
Right.
Let's pay that debt off. It would be better for America. But no, I don't think we're on the edge of collapse. But I will say this. if you haven't done it already, go ahead and bang that red subscribe button. Turn on your notifications. That way you know every single time we post a video. Also, go to all of our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok. We now have a Rumble, which we're going to get up and running. It started this week. Go to all of them. NBI Financial Group on all of them. Go ahead and follow it. Follow me. I'm Mortgage Man Nick on all the social media. This is Big Boss Ben. And you're going to see some good stuff coming out from our personals here soon. Oh, and we're giving away $1,000. So if you subscribe, turn on your notifications, and have a thoughtful comment and leave your Instagram handle behind it, we will enter you into a contest to where we will randomly draw a name, and you can either win $1,000 cash or Bitcoin. It'll be your choice. We're doing that giveaway on September 1st, but you have to be subscribed, notifications on, and you have to comment on our video.